So the conventional style 1/8 ounce bass cessna jig head is like you see right here. And that's just rigged on or a 4-inch sea shad paddle tail. This is the Laguna shrimp color, which is one of my favorite colors in the clear water. This bait will get you by in just about any conditions this time of year. We're just catching numbers, occasional big fish. It's real simple. With a lot of my clients, I just put it on and tell them to cast and reel, and it gets the job done. But then we'll have those days when those fronts will push through, and say it's not a real strong front, but the barometric pressure rises and the water temperature doesn't drop all that much, and you'll get these fish, these trout will stage in areas like not down in the deep channels and guts, but along the edges. But they'll get somewhat docile and not really snapping, not really willing to feed. That's when I like to go to the larger soft plastics, like the 5-inch Assassin. And I like to rig it through the split because it tends to swim straighter. But if you notice, I put it on an 1/8 ounce Bass Assassin Pro Elite jig head. It's quite a bit different than the conventional. It acts more like a 1/16 ounce, and it allows this bait to stay in the water column longer, in the strike zone longer, for those finicky post front trout. And then I'll rig it on a Mirror Lure Little John XL, which is a larger bait, lot of plastic, very buoyant bait, and it acts almost like a corky. It just stays right there in the water column in the strike zone. So these are great baits for when the fronts come through and kind of shut the fish down a little bit, but the fronts really don't drive them all that deep. Now, there are days, and we don't get a lot of days like this here in Texas, on the Texas coast, where our fish truly go deep. But we do have a front coming up here in a few days that may push them down in the deeper guts and channels, in some cases down in even 8 to 10 foot of water, which for our bay is relatively deep. And so when that happens, when you get those strong Arctic fronts that pass through, water levels drop, water temperatures drop, barometric pressure goes through the roof, that's when I like to switch over to, say, a 1/4 ounce. That's a 1/4 ounce Pro Elite, and you can even use a conventional quarter. And this is rigged on an Assassin little P&V in a glow, and it's a good clear water bait. And our water stays clear most of the time this time of year, like I said. But this bait, not only can you cast at a country mile with this jig head on it, it will sink down to where those docile post front, high pressure stunned, water temperature stunned fish are. But the bait is scented, and so it will further entice a bite. So a rig like this has really helped me when it gets really cold to get bites when really nothing else would. And there are a lot of other things we could talk about for this time of year: twitch baits and corkies and mirror lure, all kinds of different mirror lure twitch baits and hard baits. But I think if you just look at soft plastics, by manipulating the size and the style of the jig heads based on the conditions, pre-front, post-front, and then look at how strong these fronts are, how are they affecting the fish, how deep are they pushing the fish, what kind of feeding mode is it going to put them into, and adjust accordingly, you can be very successful just by making those simple little changes with your soft plastics. So hopefully this helps you guys catch a few more fish this winter, and happy fishing, everybody. Thank you.